What up? What up? What up? FST back in the building here. Going live to talk some Bears, some Bulls, NBA, NFL. We got Thursday night football today. We got, I think, 4 NBA games. So great night of sports. Waiting for you guys to get in here. Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me. And yeah, answering your questions. So we got to talk Bears Commanders. What up? See Troy in here. Bears will smoke Commanders, especially if Daniels is out. Yeah. Well, let's see if Jadon Daniels plays or not. I'm gonna check on his latest status here real quick. I know the live was kind of impromptu, guys. I'm gonna try to do more of these on a regular basis, like a day that I dedicate a week to it. It's just so hard, obviously, with everything going on. But yeah, Jadon Daniels still not practicing per the latest report I see. He did not practice today, Thursday. So if he doesn't practice tomorrow, he is most likely out. So that is probably going to be the case here. And honestly, Jadon Daniels being in and out does not change my prediction. I told you guys in my video that I'm thinking that the Bears win this football game. But obviously, if he's out there, that's better for the Commanders. All right, we're just going to wait here for folks to get in here. Submit your questions, guys. I'm going to get through them as quickly as I can. We'll start with the Bears Commanders preview here. So, gave you guys my preview video earlier this week. Essentially, I see this matchup playing out the same way, regardless of if it's Daniels versus Mariota. Obviously, Mariota being in there is a downgrade, but this Bears defense should give both problems, honestly. This is the best defense I think Jadon Daniels will play if he does play, and certainly the best defense Marcus Mariota will play because he's only played one game this season. And I expect our secondary to be able to handle these guys, both quarterbacks. And then on the other end, I think our offense should be able to, pretty much do whatever we want against this defense. I don't think this Commanders defense is very good. I've had a bunch of Commanders fans in my comments, by the way, talking about how I'm underrating their defense and how their defense has actually been solid this season. The numbers do say that they are solid. Their numbers are not terrible defensively, the stats, but I just don't believe it, man. And again, if I'm wrong, I'll be, in my post-game recap admitting it, but I really feel like this Commanders defense isn't very good. And I think Caleb and company should be able to do whatever they want against him. I would be very shocked if we have trouble moving the football on Sunday against this team. So to me, I'm not scared. Again, I have to see it to believe it, but that's where I'm at with it. But ultimately, that's what it comes down to, right? You want to boil it down to one thing. That one thing is this: the Bears' offense will not get stopped by the Commanders' defense, but the Commanders' offense can get stopped by the Bears' defense. That's it. As simple as that. So I have the Bears winning the game. My final score prediction was 30-21. So obviously we'll see if that is true. And remember, it's a 3:25 game Central Time. They flexed it because they wanted to see the number 1, number 2 overall pick matchup, but I don't think we're going to see it. My gut feeling right now, guys, I think Jadon Daniels does not play. A couple of reasons why I feel that way. Number one, he is your franchise quarterback, the Commanders, that is, and why risk further injury just for a game, that you're going up against a number 1 overall pick, like if it's a narrative game, why risk that if you're him? And then 2, if he can, heal up in an extra week, you go ahead and do that. And you're 5-2, you can probably afford a loss. Nobody wants to lose, but you can probably afford it. So why not play it safe? And that's essentially what it comes down to. I think they're just going to play it safe with Jadon Daniels. So yeah, overall, that's where I have it with the Bears, man. And these next three games are so crucial for us because you have the Commanders, you got the Cardinals, you got the Patriots. If we win all three games, that moves us on the year to 7-2, and then we got the division games coming up. And oh boy, would we be in a great position by the time the division games rolled around with the Packers, Vikings, and the Lions, who all look like world beaters at this point, right? All three look really tough. And at that point, you have so many wins stacked up that you can afford these losses against the division teams. I hope they don't lose, but you can kind of afford them. So to me, it's just going to be so crucial to beat up on these lesser opponents here the next 3 weeks. I think the Bears probably go 2-1, but I would love 3-0. And honestly, they should go 3-0 because, again, if they beat the Commanders, then you got the Patriots and Cardinals, and both teams aren't very good. Both defenses aren't very good. So, yeah, they should go 3-0. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let me see here if I can get some questions in from you guys. Troy here, if he plays, it's with sore ribs, and that will limit less him throwing and running. I think limit him is what you meant to say. But yes, I agree. Even if Jay Daniels plays, he's compromised. He's not going to be 100%, so that's advantage to the Chicago Bears. Ryan Janka, Bears defense is better and our offense is more dynamic, even if Daniels does play, which he won't. Yes, I totally agree. Our defense is elite, man. Our secondary is so damn good. Like, I would take our secondary above anybody's in the NFL. So it's not just Jaden. It's virtually any quarterback is going to have trouble with, our defense. So to me, that's what it comes down to. Pat, the diabetic, are Brisker or Gordon playing? That's a good question. I would assume Jaquan Brisker should be back off that concussion. I need to go ahead and check the injury report here real quick. I thought I saw it this morning, but might have missed it here. So on the injury report, Jaquan Brisker, he actually did not practice DNP and DNP with the concussion. So if he does not practice tomorrow, then he's most likely out. And Kyler Gordon, also DNP and DNP with a hamstring injury. So if he does not practice, he's most likely out. So yeah, bad news for the secondary there. Obviously Brisker wasn't there last week, but Gordon was. But that would be a big loss for us. So hopefully those guys are able to go, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Calm down, Beavis. Us losing this game would be the most Chicago Bears game ever. Losses in November and December are inevitable, and much like the Colts game, I don't want us wasting losses, so to speak. Yeah, man. Look, would it be the most surprising outcome in the world if we lost this game? Absolutely not. The Commanders are 5-2 for a reason. They have a good offensive staff. They have a good quarterback in Daniels and a decent backup quarterback in Mariota. They have weapons in Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz. Like, it's a solid football team. I'm not going to go ahead and say this is an easy dub by any means. But like you said, we can't be wasting these opportunities when we have the entire division lined up in the back half of the year. You got to play all those teams twice. So we're talking 6 games. All right? 2 Lions games, 2 Vikings games, 2 Packers games. So that could be 6 losses there, and that you don't want to deal with that. And so you want to go ahead and stack up these dubs. Like I said, 7-2 would be incredible by the time we get to the division games. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they lost. I'm just, my prediction is they don't. Lindsey Gardner, if the Bears win, watch everybody say, yeah, but they beat a team without their quarterback. It's a good point. Honestly, I thought about this too. We're in kind of a lose-lose situation here because if Jaden Daniels does not play, by the way, because that's exactly what they would say. Hey, you beat him, but Jaden Daniels wasn't there, so yeah, doesn't really count. And then if you lose to the Commanders without Jaden, oh, buddy, buckle up, because now you lost to a team without Jaden Daniels, making all those jokes, poverty franchise, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, totally agree. We're in a lose-lose situation. I don't care. I just want the dub. Troy, I see Montez Sweat having a big game. Yeah, man, that would be awesome if Montez Sweat could wreak havoc on the Commanders' offensive line. That would be awesome. I can't wait. DeJon Bell, Bears fans, y'all ready to get sprayed my raid? No, I am not. Nope. Elias, how is the Commanders' defense ranked? So I did mention this in my video, but I will bring it up here again or tell you guys again how their defense is ranked here. So overall, on the year, they are 16th ranked defensively, and they're 12th against the pass and 18th against the run. So they're much worse against the run than they are against the pass. But you see overall 16th. That's literally middle of the pack average, 16 out of 32. You would have thought the Commanders defense to be, very porous, like bottom, 10 in the league at least, but the numbers don't say that. But I told you guys this in my video, so I'll reiterate. The reason I believe the numbers are not bad defensively, even though I think it's a bad defense, is because they have been able to get ahead on these other teams so quickly that they overwhelm them and the other team becomes one-dimensional, right? It happened against the Panthers last week. You put up points, every possession, touchdown, that, hey, the Panthers can't even do a normal game plan anymore because they just have to pass, and it just becomes so easy for the defense, and it's sack after sack after sack. Same thing happened with the Browns game. So that's essentially what ends up happening, and then you get a team in the Panthers that scores 7 points and a team in the Browns that scores 13 points, and that's how you get your defensive numbers up. So that's why I believe their defense is not ranked that bad, even though I think it is. Andrew Hernandez just got to stack up the dubs. I totally agree. Rod D, I hope Shane dials it up so we can start fast in the first quarter. Don't want a slow start. I totally agree, man. Like, I want us to attack this team relentlessly through the air. I want us to be able to just, not let up and really, really try to challenge them vertically. Like, I want us to utilize all our weapons, man. Again, I went through the numbers here, and this Commanders defense got lit up statistically by a lot of players. Joe Burrow went off against them. Baker Mayfield went off against him. Lamar Jackson went off against him. Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Jamar Chase. I know these are all star players here, but there were a lot of big names putting up big numbers on this defense. All right. I can pull it up, but you guys can look it up as well. Lindsey Gardner, any thoughts on the Bears possibly trading for Crosby or Miles? I'm guessing you're referring to Miles Garrett. I think his name is spelled with a Y. But good question. I probably was going to make a video on this, but, I kept thinking, man, is this clickbaity? Is it not? But here's where I'm at. I don't think the Bears will trade for either of them, and I don't think they should. We're not a star pass rusher away from being a Super Bowl contender. That's when you make that move. You mortgage the future for Max Crosby or Myles Garrett when you feel like you're one player away, which is, in this case, the pass rusher. When your team like the Bears, who are in not year one of the rebuild, but, year one of a new quarterback, certainly, and you know that, hey, we're a couple players away from being a Super Bowl contender, the trajectory is going up, and we definitely are headed in the right direction. You keep building at that point. That's what you do. You keep building and stacking, and you take shots in the draft, and you just try to hope you accumulate as many good players on cheap deals as possible. So to me, getting a Myles Garrett, getting a Max Crosby does not immediately tell me that the Bears will be a Super Bowl contender. And if that is the case, there is no point in making that trade. Now, sure, if you can get those guys for pennies on the dollar, who wouldn't? But are you really telling me the Raiders and the Browns are going to give away these guys for less than what they're worth? It's not going to happen. So the asking price is going to be through the roof. And you're not there yet, so why do it? So I don't believe that they will trade for them, and I don't believe they should. I probably will just make another video on this too. since a lot of people are wondering. But yeah, that's my answer to that question. Ryan Janka, I love that the Bears get to build momentum versus these bad teams before playing the Packers at home, then going through that gauntlet. I totally agree. This is a great point here. I really feel like the schedule did the Bears big favors because of the fact that we get to stack up these dubs, get our confidence up, and then by the time you play the Packers, it's been a little bit, right? Because previous years you're playing the Packers week 1, week 2, very early in the season, and you're just getting your face smashed in because that's just what's happening, right? And that just kind of derails your morale for the early part of the season. And so to me, I love the fact that we can get some confidence here before we play the Packers. And, I'm not expecting us obviously to sweep them or anything, but I'm expecting at least us to get one game, I hope. We play them, I think, in the last game and then week 11. So yeah, let's see. I totally agree though. MC season, what if they did trade for them at a decent bargain? Would you still be upset? No, I wouldn't be upset, but I don't see it happening. Again, that goes back to my point of getting those guys for pennies on the dollar. What is a cheap deal, right? Are you still giving up, significant draft capital? Is a cheap deal like 3 seconds or something like that? Like, 2 seconds and 2/3. Like, my thing is, I personally, like just me personally, I would, unless I'm getting the steal, which I 99.9% of the time I'm not, I'm staying away. I just am. The Bears, while it would be very nice to have these guys, don't necessarily need these guys. Okay? That's what it comes down to. It'd be nice to have them, but they don't need them. So yeah, to me, I wouldn't be upset, but I probably wouldn't do it. Here we go. AJ Faiz, do you know anything about Kyler Gordon and how do you feel about the rumors of Myles Garrett? I just addressed the Myles Garrett thing, so I hope you heard that. But as far as Kyler Gordon, he did not practice today and he did not practice yesterday. So we have to wait for the Friday practice report to see his status for the game against the Commanders. I think he's dealing with a hamstring injury. So waiting until the practice report on Friday, but from all these years of watching football and reading practice reports, DNP usually on Wednesday, Thursday, leading up to Friday means that he's not going to practice and probably not going to play. So him and Brisker are probably going to be on the doubtful side, which is going to be, terrible. But yeah, that's where we're at. I am Skokes. Can't forget that Poles tried to get Judon. He sees the need there. That's a great point. And I'm not disputing that Ryan Poles won't, take a call and see what the asking price is. You absolutely, as a general manager, need to go ahead and do your due diligence. So if he's calling up, those GMs and just asking them, hey, what's it going to take for you to get Garrett, for us to get Garrett or Crosby, you should do that. And he did try to get Judon. You're absolutely right about that. But Judon's price tag versus those guys were night and day. It's night and day. So yes, a lesser pass rusher for a much more affordable pick compensation, I'm good with. Myles Garrett and Max Crosby is going to cost you an arm and a leg and probably an eye and more. All right. A couple more questions getting in here. So I'm going to get through these as quickly as I can. Appreciate it. Would love super chats here to support the channel as well. And obviously, you guys know with my membership that I did open up, if you guys want to join that, that would be great. What's good, FST? What is good, Christian? Good to see you in here, man. All right. Ryan Jacob, Montez Sweat over half a sack. DJ Moore yards over DJ Moore anytime. Touchdown, Bears money line, all free Fives. Great. I love talking about props and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know I play all the time, so certainly if you guys are interested in picks and whatnot, DM me, reach out to me. I'll be happy to give you guys those. DJ Moore yards over is my favorite one here. He went berserk last time. We know that against the Commanders. over 200 receiving yards. So I could certainly see DJ Moore destroying them this time around. I think his prop is probably going to be like 60. I don't know. Let's see what. Maybe it's already up. Maybe it isn't. We'll see. Let me look it up here real quick. Bears money line also. I see a lot of people, a lot of respected cappers on Bears money line, and I would take Bears money line as well. You actually could have gotten it at a plus number. I think it was plus 1.5 when it opened up, and now the Bears are favored by 2.5, so it's minus 2.5 at this point. So money line is juiced to minus 142. But as far as DJ Moore, I don't see the props up right now for FanDuel at least. Maybe on DraftKings it is. But yeah, those are all good picks. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for the division games. But let's just get our momentum going with these non-divisional games because it's going to be important. Did anybody get a chance to watch the Bulls yesterday? Man, another season of mediocrity. It's not going to be fun for us. DJ Moore's 57.5. So I would take the over on that. I just checked DraftKings. So it's 57.5. I like the over on DJ Moore. But yeah, real quickly about the Bulls. I did post my season preview for them. Look, man, I don't need to get on my soapbox here, but this Bulls team has been so frustrating to me as a fan because I have been begging for a direction for the better part of 3 years now, and I'm not getting it. I thought I would get it this off season with getting, rid of DeMar, but still we kept Vooch, we kept Zach. We're running this like heavy guard lineup with Josh Giddey and Kobe. You got Ayo. Like, what is this? Like, this team makes no sense. There's no cohesiveness. It's the most confusing roster in basketball. And guess what? They still have talent, and there's absolutely no way we're going to be bad enough to get Cooper Flagg or any of these top draft picks. So we're going to be right back in the middle where it's always been. Andrew Hernandez, Bulls suck. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. Here's the frustrating part about this is I literally want to watch Bulls basketball again, but there's virtually no reason to at this point because of how bad they are. But obviously I'm a Bulls fan, so it's hard for me not to. Yeah. Jake the Snake, what are the odds the Bears make the playoffs? The Bears making the playoffs, I have to check. I don't know what these odds are. I made a recent video talking about how all NFC North teams could potentially get into the playoffs. All 4 of them. Lions winning the division, and then Vikings, Packers, and Bears. By the way, Vikings playing today against the Rams, so that should be another W for them. I would probably say at this point like 40 to 50% in the NFC. But we'll see. I'm just spitballing here. I am Scouts. The Bulls are extremely frustrating seeing young players just sitting around while Zach, Vooch, and Ball clog up the depth roster. Makes no sense. Totally agree. That's so hard for me not to just unleash on this team. But that's exactly the problem. It's like I literally am begging the team as a fan, please, I want you to be terrible. I want you to be absolutely garbage in terms of the talent, in terms of the roster. Please be bad so that we can get a franchise player. I want you to be as bad as the Wizards or as bad as the Blazers, like these teams. I don't want to be a fringe play-in team anymore. So please get rid of Zach, get rid of Vooch. Lonzo Ball's a great, nice story. We don't need him. Play Matas Puzelis, build him up. I need this team to stop driving me crazy, man. AJ, is Flu still heavily the defensive mind behind the team, or is Eric Washington the main man behind our success? I would say that it is probably Flus, and I have to give Flus credit, man. he has been a guy who I have not been a big believer in, and he's always had this defense playing solid. Obviously, the offense is another story, but that's not his side of the football. So his side of the football, he always has his guys playing well. Buy your bicep. I like the young Bulls core, but we got to get rid of the older vets. I totally agree, man. Except for Lonzo. Love my king. Love Lonzo. Love the story, but he can go too. Honestly. Andrew Hernandez, any chance Caleb Williams hits over 4K yards this year? Yeah, I definitely think there's a chance. Honestly, I don't know what he's on pace for right now, but if he stays healthy for all 17 games, he's hitting 4,000 yards. I really think so. Dylan Holmes, Bears win 21-17 against the Commanders. That would be awesome. I got 30-21. Chris Avendano, last year the Bears were decent versus the Lions. My only concern is Brian Branch. If Caleb balls out, we have a great opportunity. Well, yeah. So when I did my preview video for the schedule, I think I had the Bears literally splitting a game with every divisional opponent. So 3-3 against the division. Home wins against Lions, Packers, Vikings, and road losses against all of them. So that's my prediction. Obviously, seems a little too perfect to come true, right? Win all the home games, lose all the road games, and split with the entire division. But honestly, Detroit just looks like a monster this year. And I know we played them well last year, but they scare me so much. The Packers and the Vikings certainly don't scare me as much as Detroit. So hopefully we can split those games. Certainly. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Jake the Snake, as a Bears fan, there's no way we beat the Packers. Got to happen eventually, right? Look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I feel like we have on paper the talent to do so. Now, whether or not we do beat them, that's another story, but I certainly think we have a chance. So, all right, guys, I'm going to answer questions here for about the next 2 minutes or so. So get them in here, and then I got to hop off. And super chat if you want your question answered right away. But we'll get through these as quickly as we can. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys all for checking in here, man. Hopefully you guys are all having a good day. Tony Rios, do you think Bagent is a sneaky trade asset? If so, what would you take in a trade? I would keep Tyson Bagent. I would not trade him. You've got to have a decent backup quarterback in this league. And look, when the starting quarterback is out for the year, your season is already over. But if he's out for a game or two, Tyson Bagent can help you manage a game or two. So I would keep Tyson Bagent. I would not want to trade him. Trey Talk, Sports Chicago, Faiz. Do you see Flus winning the Super Bowl? I say he's a nice guy, got the team fired up. But I don't see him being a coach to take us to the Super Bowl. I mean, I want him to, but honestly, I don't know. But still. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at, which is I like Flus. He's a nice guy, and he has certainly earned my respect more and more in his, couple of seasons here in Chicago. But if you ask me, do I think he is the guy to take us to the promised land? I don't. I don't. I think he is a fantastic defensive coordinator. I just don't think he's a great head coach. Again, he's been solid. He's always had his side of the football play well, but there's a lot of coaches I'm taking over Flus. A lot of them. If we had my favorite coach is Sean McVay. If we had a coach like that type, I would say, yeah, that's our coach. That's a good coach that'll take us to the promised land. So yeah, to me, I'm not all in on Flus still. So yeah, guys, I can't wait for this game on Sunday. Obviously, I'm still going to be checking out the Bulls here, but let me know what else you guys want me to, kind of make videos on here. Wow, the line went up to -3 for the Bears. I can't believe that. But yeah, man, I appreciate all you guys for checking in here. I literally have to be doing these live streams every single week more so. I'm telling myself. So I'm trying to hold myself to it. So please, if I have not been doing live streams, get in the comments. I see all of them. Even if I don't reply to it, I definitely see all of them. Just bug me to do live streams more, and I'll do it. But I got to hop off now. I appreciate you guys. It's always great talking to you, and I'll talk to you guys soon.